Hey there YouTube, I just wanted to show you a video of a little project I was working on. I have this HRV system by Bryant, and it has this controller. It has a humidity sensor on it with a little dial that you can just control at what humidity the air recycler turns on and off at. I've had very poor luck with it. Even when it was brand new, the humidity sensor just did not match up with any humidity sensors I've had, and it's just not very sensitive at all. It originally came with this humidity sensor that was in this control box, so that's just the cover hanging over there, but it goes on this control box. And it just has two leads to it. It just is basically an on-off switch. It runs on some like nylon film sort of humidity expansion something, but it's just never been very accurate at all. So at one point I just finally got fed up with it. I just unhooked the two leads and then just took this box out. It just pops out of here, and that just leaves you with this space down here. And then what I went ahead and did was just put a Wemos mini Wi-Fi controller in there, and then I just got a relay and wired it up to the controller. Took those two leads and spliced some wires on them, and then just ran those two leads into this relay. So now the Wemos can control the relay, and then all it does is just basically trigger like when the humidity sensor triggers it on and off. Then I just leave it on the continuous mode where it just senses for humidity. So that's usually that mode there where it's intermittent air based on whatever the humidity is. To power this Wemos Mini, I didn't pull power off the board. I looked at pulling power off these wires because they do have voltage. I was just a little leery about pulling power off of them and melting something. So I actually had another extra control wire in my set. So then I was just able to splice those into a USB cable that I cut off, and then that powers it through an independent power source that I have at the end of this control wire in my mechanical room. I just hooked it up to a cell phone charger, so it gets its own independent power from another set of wires. But you might be able to pull power off these wires. Just run a voltmeter and see what kind of voltage you have on them. Then what I did is I just installed the blynk software, the blynk IO app, onto that Wemos Mini, and that allows me to use the blynk program and the app on my phone, so I can turn the air on and off whenever I want to. I also can just use the blynk app timer, so in the mornings when we take showers and the humidity starts going up, instead of pushing the wall button in the bathrooms, I can just tell it every morning, hey, turn on at 7 and run for an hour and a half. Where normally it runs for 15 minutes, and you gotta keep hitting the button, keep hitting the button, keep hitting the button to keep the air running, because the humidity sensor is not picking it up, especially since my showers are upstairs and this is downstairs. So that's nice. That just automatically runs for an hour and a half every morning, every weekday. And then also what I did is I built an air sensor, a particulate matter sensor, using a particle photon chip that just publishes the air quality. And then I used If This Then That website to control this Wemos. So if the air quality in the downstairs gets bad due to cooking or building a fire or something like that in the wood stove, it sends a signal through IFT to this Wemos, and then it turns the air recycler on, and it keeps the air recycler on until the air quality drops to a certain level, and then it shuts the air off. So basically taking this old humidity sensor out and replacing it with actually a digital Wi-Fi sensor has greatly improved this control box that was very analog and very not flexible into what was going on. So now I can control it remotely with my phone. I can turn it on and off. I can put it on timer on and off with my phone. I can control it with an air sensor. And then the last project I'm working on is just putting a humidity sensor, a digital humidity sensor, upstairs in my house, having that monitor the upstairs humidity, and then having it be able to trip this downstairs sensor, so that if the air gets too humid upstairs, then it can just tell the sensor down here, hey, turn on and run until the humidity drops to a certain level. So if you have one of these control boxes, this one's made by Bryant, but I think there's a few other companies that use almost the exact same controller, you might want to think about this idea of just taking the humidity sensor out and replacing it with a Wi-Fi chip so you can control your sensor Wi-Fi. Thanks.